Our next presentation is Michael Castor Peterson, Martin. I'm sorry. Thank you. He's a certified and a successful international trainer. He's based in Denmark. He had his first national radio show as a host age 12, I'm sorry, this is not reading out right, at age 12 in Denmark, helping other kids with daily life problems. He is well known for his modern, fast, and unique approach and have created several new powerful hypnosis techniques. Definitely a very popular lecturer from the HypnoThoughts Live in 2014 and 2015. He is the chief trainer of the Hypno Academy based in Vegas, London, and Denmark, inventor of several popular hypnosis techniques, taught hypnosis in over 16 different countries and performed in more than 14. And tonight, Martin, we have no idea what you will be presenting on. He is our mystery presentation. Why don't you please come on up here, Martin? And you're all mic'd up and stuff like that?
I think I'm good, yeah.
Cool, so I'm looking forward to this mystery presentation. So,
hi guys.
Hey.
Are you ready for some Scandinavian craziness? Absolutely, awesome. I never actually attended something like this, traveling 24 hours to do 30 minutes. It's kind of like big travel, but anyway. And since English is my second language, I hope you guys still follow me. If I go too fast, then let me know, all right? So, but before I do anything, I want to do a small change to the room, if you guys is okay with that. First of all, I want all of you to think about some part of your life where you had a great success doing something. Maybe you won a championship, or maybe just a school thing or something like that. I want you just to briefly think about a moment like that where you actually succeeded something that made you happy. Just think about that for a moment. Close your eyes just 5 seconds and think about that, where you succeeded something. It might not even be your own success, but it might be something you touched and they felt awesome by the thing you did, and they let you know afterwards. And when you're all done with that, I want everybody to stand up. Yeah, it's interactive, guys. It's awesome. And think about what you just had in mind. And I'm pretty sure everybody knows the winning pose. Like, yeah. All right? So I want you guys to do the same thing. Think about it and go, yeah! 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 All right. Now you can all sit down again and talk like adults. All right. So just to change the whole energy to the room and have you guys feel yourself in a different way. So you feel the change a little bit? Oh, yeah. Maybe large. Maybe, who knows? Maybe too much. If you can have too much success, right? So I was thinking all the way out here because I'm doing something with John Overdorf, who's from town, I think. He's from Phoenix anyway. And I was thinking all the way out here with my two buddies down in the back, what should I share with you guys? And there was some reading from my bio, I heard that. And who are we really, right? Hypnotized more than 150,000 people doing shows and clients. Had over 7,000 clients so far. I'm only 41. I've been doing this for 20 years now. Teaching more than 14 countries, in more than 14 countries. I got more than 35, I think it's 35 right now, certificates from NLP, hypnosis, mastery of hypnosis, all of that. I can certify for more than 7 organizations worldwide. But you know, secret, it doesn't mean anything at all. If I'm not able to get beyond myself and the certificates, if people don't get what I'm talking about, if they don't change the way they expect to change, what does it all mean, right? So I was listening in, and the thing I usually do when people want to have something that could provoke the way they do hypnosis already, they usually call me for some weird reason. And that's because I do things quite different. So how much does it take to hypnotize someone? Nothing really. Nothing. Maybe just a second of being confused. Maybe just thinking about something you just did. That's how fast it goes. It goes from, 18, 22 hertz down to 8 in that brief moment. That's how fast it goes. So how come we think that hypnotizing someone takes at least a session, maybe a pre-session, and then maybe half an hour talking about whatever we need to read from the paper or something like that. A lot of people still do that. I don't. And the real thing I want to chat with you guys about is, and that actually triggered me from listening in also, is how much time do you think it takes to actually solve a problem for a client? This is the big issue with everybody who works with hypnosis. In some countries, you have to get some kind of anatomical education, some more therapy. You have to be a psychiatrist to do hypnosis. It differs from country to country. I've been so lucky, I've taught everyone from American neurologists on the Copenhagen University to, random housewives who want to change careers. So I've been quite all over, but it's the same problem every single time. We want to understand how to change that person. If we have a client, we want to understand the feelings, the way of thoughts, everything they do, we want to understand it. And we are taught to be these people who can go back and through references and past experiences and knowledge and schooling. So knowing all that, we must know a solution. But I want to let you in on something. We don't know it. Nothing you ever got taught in life besides tools, but everything that covers feelings, emotions, and knowing from another person. You could never tap into that. It's impossible. You might have an idea, but ideas, they actually destroy solutions. So who has the solution for a client? The client, yeah. And how fast could you do that, do you think? How fast is a trauma created? Instantly. And I call traumas frozen moments in time. Because in that moment, your unconscious kind of takes a picture of everything present in that moment. Everything from scent, so people have allergies. Everything from colors in the room or outside, who's present, is the majority of women or male persons there, how old are you, where you at, are there other people, are you alone? All of that suddenly is a representative system in your mind, so when that happens again, it triggers that old emotion. What's even worse, everybody you talk to about your problem, they have the idea of a solution. Now another reality is being added to your reality. So we have a lot of false realities being present. And could we ever solve a false reality? No, we couldn't. Well, we could, but it will take time, wouldn't it? Do you all know the studies from American Psychology Magazine who did this big survey, or not survey, actually test way back, testing out psychotherapy and how psychologists worked. 600 sessions, yeah, 37 something percent.
I actually have that graphic in one of my books.
There you go. 37%, recovery or success. I think it's about that number, give or take. 600 sessions. Then we have behavioral therapy, more cognitive therapy. From, I think it's 30 or 35 sessions, we have a percentage of almost 70%. Then hypnotherapy. 96% or 93, I think, from 6 sessions. And think about this fact. That kind of hypnotherapy is what I call back to the 80s. It's a lot to do with script reading, a lot to do with, let me tell you what not to do anymore, stuff like that. So think about, what if you do things differently? Because a lot of people do things different today. Not like they did it back then, because hypnotherapy has changed massively. Just throughout the last 5 years, right? Has psychology? No. Not really. Not much. I can say for a fact from the almost 50 psychiatrists I've taught hypnosis in the States and throughout Europe, 48 of them is not doing psychiatry anymore. They do hypnosis. And they were taught hypnosis either at school, or university, or like private sector, who knows. And they didn't feel it was good enough for anything. It was like last tool to use before we have to fire the client for no progress. What is that about if it's the best tool, depending on how you look at it? Because there's really good psychiatrists out there, but they have to know what type of client they need. And hypnotherapists need to know what kind of clients they need, because there's a difference. We cannot, solve everything. It's right. Not everybody is in the right condition to take on good advice or actually to acknowledge something happening within themselves, right? So, what do we have to change? Do you want some insights? Because you are changing at every moment, right? And if we're not learning anything from every new moment that pops up in front of us, we're going backwards, kind of. And that's the problem with clients. It's because of that happened way back. And they tap into that and they feel it, and it's kind of like, can't be any worse, can it? But I do feel myself. So a question could be, so what if you felt success in this moment, or just joy, or just totally neutral? Most people think, well, it comes with a bill to it. I need to pay something, and it's something I borrow for a moment. No. But you're leaving out that option because you only think about what happened way back. So I want to attack what people call pre-talks. Have so many people, really setting up pre-talks like, this is everything we need to do. Good, solid pre-talk. We need to know and understand the client, and we kind of been through that, right? Do we need to know and understand the client? Nope, we don't. But we need to know why they're here. So let me put it like this. Would you spend half an hour talking about everything they think is the problem, not knowing that's the problem? Because if they knew it, they would have dealt with it, right? Would you spend 30 minutes doing that? Or would you want to spend 30 minutes talking about how great they want to feel when they leave the office? Question. That is a question. You need to answer that. Option A, option B. Seems like nobody. Go, Johnny. What do you want to say? B. All right. So, and why is that? Because, well, what if it's wrong? Well, they're wrong already. I know that. I think almost close to 98% of my clients have one session wonders because I skipped the pre-talk. Trust me, I'm schooled in almost every large organization throughout the world doing everything they told me to do, and I didn't see that much progress. Depending on the client, depending on my daily shape and my mind that day, right? Mm-hmm. But when I changed it to talk about, so what is it really that you want? And they go, so is it hypnosis now? So, no, we'll get back to that just in a moment. Okay, pressure's off, okay? Have you ever had clients who felt pressure because now's the time for hypnosis? Yeah? Because they don't know what to expect from it, do they? And if you spend another half an hour telling them how to feel and how to expect to feel hypnosis, you would be wrong because that's individual. They feel it differently. So I do spend, let's say, 5, maybe 10 minutes talking about how great they want to feel when they leave my office. And on the end, every time they start doing, well, it's because of my problem, I would say, that's all right. We'll get right back to that. So when we're finished with that, I would say, so would you accept the idea that when you leave, you might feel even greater? They go, oh, that's impossible. Well, for now, I would say, for now. And so before we do any kind of hypnosis, think about a place where you do relax very much and and you can tell me about that place. And just to make it easier, close your eyes and talk about it. They go right down to 8 hertz immediately, and they're talking about the place, and I'm doing all the questions about how does it feel, how does it smell right there, what do you see, and how do you experience it? Do you hear anything? All of that. Because now they activate all the senses from a trusting situation they already had, and then I add something. What do you notice now that wasn't there before that makes you relax and feel even more safe and secure? And they go, oh, I never saw this, but that tree, that pine tree over there. I go, that's right, that pine tree. And then I just move straight into therapy. Using all the tools you might know, whatever it could be, like the cinema, I do collapse technique instead, parts therapy, whatever. Could be anything, with all the modern twist to it. So when people wake up and they feel excited, happy, feeling great in that moment, I will have them say all the positive power words that goes way beyond that one word they started with. And I ask about the problem. So what was the problem? They go, I don't know. So that's right. And then the conscious mind might say, well, what happens if I have a fallback? Well, how could you? Because it's gone now. Everything you said was a problem. We created a resource, and now you integrated that, and now you're doing it. How does that feel? To reignite it again, they go, that feels great. So where is it right now? In my stomach. How would it feel if you just imagine it was all over the body? How would that feel now? And they go, oh, my hands are shaking. And say, you didn't expect that, did you? They go, no. There you go. That's all right. You can feel that and have fun at the same time. Isn't that great? So what was the problem? They go, I don't know. That's kind of how I do it. I took were you at the thing we did last year with the script, Killing Hypnosis? Yeah. I was standing, one of my mentors, Igor Lidahovsky, he was doing something in the biggest room in Vegas with his thing later on that Friday. And when I recognized that Scott Sandon and Richard Clark, who's actually managing the whole conference, they gave me that room as one of the first people on the conference with 100 seats in it. I was like, bastards. I'm just a weird Dane who's going to fill up that room. So I was actually just talking to myself, doing bad hypnosis. Talking to myself in that room with my back to everyone, like, oh, there's not going to be anyone here. And if there's 10, let's have a blast with those 10 people. And I turned around, it was full. And I like to do challenges like that. So I thought to myself, what would be the most difficult thing to do? And it pops up. Before we do anything, there are a couple of people in here who had a problem for quite a while that they tried to solve but couldn't get solved by whatever reason, who want to join me up here for a couple of minutes. And 2 people actually put their hands up. Now, how much time did it take? 5 minutes, 8 minutes?
Not more than that.
And it's done. And I didn't ask them about what's the problem, more, maybe a lot of something like, so what do you want to get solved? That's it. And when they stepped into the problem, I asked, what do you want out of it? How is that a problem for you? Besides being a problem, what else is there? Questions like that. You can really mess up the mind. Like, so what's not the problem? You go, whoa, what is that? I don't understand it. Exactly. Feel confused? How does that feel? You thought you were doing a battle with me, fighting upon problems, but now you feel different. That's a resource. So we did that with a couple of people. If you guys want the videos, I can make sure you'll get it. You can download it. And just show people everything they thought was impossible because of whatever schooling they had. We did that as demos right there in front of people. So question would be, who would like to do a demo with me? Because I was thinking, don't do it, Martin. But now I'm doing it. That's me. Could be something cringing your mind right now that you want to step out of, but it wasn't possible until now. Having a chat about a problem?
This guy right here.
2 people is pointing at you. Would you accept that?
He's the problem.
So he's the problem. So you 2 want him not to be the problem. Is that it? I can make him banish. Right. Exactly. So, but I need a volunteer who would actually accept it. Could be anything. It's just a chat. Okay. We got 2, but who wants first?
Now you guys have to fight it out.
Okay.
Yeah?
It's just a chat. You're going to put me under, right?
Well, you wouldn't know it anyway, would you?
Just a conversation.
It's just a conversation. So far, what do you think your problem is?
I've got a fear of driving in major traffic.
How come that being a problem?
How can it be? I'm sorry.
How come that's a problem?
Because it keeps me from doing what I want to do.
So just because of traffic, you cannot do what you want to do? You heard that, right? Because you changed your posture on your legs, so something happened right there, right?
Well, yeah, I'm trying to figure out exactly how to answer you.
Because you're trying to figure out. But so if it was the truth, you would know how to answer it, wouldn't you?
No, it's the truth. I'm trying to decipher what my actual problem is.
Exactly. So what is actually your problem?
I've got a fear of of driving where there's, in big cities where there's a lot of traffic.
So that's different from the first problem you presented. Now you think you have fear of driving in dense traffic in cities.
Yes.
Okay. How come that's a problem?
How come it's a problem?
Hmm?
Sometimes I'm tired when I get to the city.
So what does that have to do with traffic?
Well,
Can you control whenever you're tired or not?
I guess. I mean, I'm
So why not just making yourself untired?
because I'm usually in a hurry or anxious to get wherever I'm going.
So you can control it.
I can control the fatigue, yes.
So why not just undo the fatigue?
Okay, I'm solved.
Do you hear the excuses? Do you hear all the excuses?
I,
Just step right into that.
okay,
Being in traffic, it's kind of dense, it's a city.
okay.
What's really happening?
I don't trust the other drivers.
Aha, so that's kind of different. So if I trusted you from the first thing you said to me, that would be the problem. If we started working on that, I will be way off, right? Because you do not trust other drivers, do you? So how often do other drivers actually just collide with your car?
Oh, they come close. I mean, they have.
That was not the question.
Hasn't happened yet, but
It hasn't happened yet.
no,
So what are you frightened of?
that it's going to happen.
Well, if plane could fall down, you know, big wall could fall over, the ground could just disappear below you, but it didn't happen, did you? You never thought about that.
Well, now I got more than one fear.
No, you don't. You got ideas. How many ideas do you actually have, do you think, that could be a problem, but maybe it's just a resource? I want to ask you another question. Just leave that up there, battling each other. So feeling that right there, being afraid of other drivers might be, you know, they might collide with you or just come too close.
Okay.
What kind of resource is that really?
I don't understand what you mean by resource.
That feeling you have in that moment, that's also a resource, isn't it? Do you feel your body? Do you become more aware?
Yes.
Do you notice stuff way before than we're just sitting there listening to the radio on the countryside, long, narrow road, just having fun, no other drivers? You actually pay way more attention driving in the cities than out there. So what is the most dangerous thing? Paying attention, not paying attention?
Sometimes not paying attention.
Yeah? In which way?
Well, I find that when I'm talking to somebody and I'm driving in traffic, I'm still aware, but I'm not as freaked out about
So when
what's
you
going on.
talk with somebody else,
Or when I'm listening
Then-
to the radio.
then you're not as freaked out.
Yes, I'm more relaxed.
So what's the difference? There's just somebody there.
I'm not, well, I think the difference would be I'm not concentrating so hard on not getting in an accident, if that makes sense.
What happened right there?
I'm trying to figure out what the hell I just said. I guess, yeah, I mean, because I do remember that when I'm driving white knuckles, trying to make sure that I'm concentrating on not getting in an accident as opposed to relaxing.
So just hold on for a moment.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah. That feeling, emotion or sensation or whatever there is right there, what else besides being frightened is there?
What else is there besides?
Besides being frightened, what else is there?
I don't think there's anything else.
So it's just empty. Big empty place to put new stuff into, right?
Besides being frightened.
Yeah.
Yes.
So if you were only frightened in that moment, could you actually drive the car?
Okay, let me think about what you said. If I'm only frightened in that moment, then can I actually drive the car?
Just being frightened. What happens when you're really afraid?
I drive faster.
Drive faster?
Yeah, to get out of that traffic.
Ah, to get on the safe side. So how could you drive faster and be that conscious about what you're doing and be that present and be that aware? How could that be frightened at the same time?
Because because I'm motivated to get out of that.
So how is that not a good thing? How could
I never said it was good.
how could that not be a good thing?
How is it not? It's a good thing
It is a good thing, isn't it?
for me to get out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feel safe, feel good. Maybe just a little bit away from the other traffic, the other
Yes.
cars or whatever. And you know, behind that stoplight over there, it might be good because there's no construction work or something like that.
Or the left lane where it goes faster. There's
Okay.
not so many cars.
So if we put some assets to that, being able to do that, and we forget about frightened for a moment,
Okay.
what kind of positive resources and power words would you put to that? When you're able to do that, get out of that traffic, be way much aware, know exactly what to do, being way more present, what kind of resources is that?
Well, I guess I'm creating a plan.
Oh, you're creating a plan. That's positive, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah? Are you good at creating plans?
In emergency, when I'm that scared, yeah.
So how come that's a problem? Do you know how many people who actually feel frightened and then they do nothing? Then they collide with other drivers? So what just happened right there?
I'm relaxing.
Oh, you're relaxing.
Yeah, a little bit.
So like 2 minutes ago, you were a little bit more tense, but now you feel more relaxed?
Yeah.
Awesome. Did you know that's going to happen?
Did I know I was going to get relaxed?
Yeah.
Probably.
But
I
we're
mean,
talking about you being frightened and now suddenly you feel relaxed. That's kind of strange, isn't it?
I'm not driving.
Exactly, but you talk about it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But the talking doesn't scare me.
No,
It's that physical.
it's the physical. How do you know?
How do I know? Because I'm not scared talking about it. I'm not frightened.
But how do you know it's physical?
Because when I'm driving, it's there.
It's there.
Yes.
Show me again. How is it? Like that?
Yes.
Where do you locate that?
Where I locate it.
Yeah, that feeling.
In my arms.
Being in your arms. What happens exactly?
Okay. I'm like this.
All right. Steady.
Steady.
Finding that way out.
Yeah, looking hard.
Looking hard. But
Yes.
you do it, right? And if there's no options, you just make sure you're safe.
Yes.
And if there's an option, you're out.
Yes.
How is that a problem?
It's not a problem, I guess. the
It's
best
not a
answer,
problem.
I haven't done it enough.
So
I
how do
haven't
you,
done it enough to feel comfortable in that situation.
but were you ever in an accident like that?
No.
So
I mean, yes.
So,
I mean,
you have done enough
I've
in all
seen those
situations so far, right?
Yes.
So what are you trying to tell me? So if you've done enough in all situations, and everything you do is something that's helping you, how could you feel frightened in that moment? How do you know it's actually being frightened? Why isn't it just something that pops up to make sure you will get out safe and you actually feel great? How do you feel right after when you find that way out? Do you feel great? Exactly. You know why? Because you did everything just before that. How is that a problem? In which other ways of life can you use that feeling, that emotion, that sensation, get your way out and feel just like that?
I guess in everything I do.
Everything you do. How's that not positive?
Oh, that's positive.
If you put another word to that, what would that be?
I would put another word to the feeling after.
When it helps you, yeah. Everything from the point where you actually start doing something different to get your way out, and you get out and you feel that feeling. How would you put that? Focus. That's up here in your mind. How does it feel in your body? When you put that focus down there into your body, how does it feel?
I have to focus on relaxing.
Do you have to focus, or do you just focus right now on something happening that could be relaxation? Just like swapping over the legs to the other side right now because you made a choice, right?
Okay. All right. You got me confused now. Say that again. Okay.
Isn't that great to feel confused, even though you thought you had everything you just set up the way you wanted, and now you feel
I'm gonna get in
confused?
an accident.
Am I confusing you or your body? Because it's your body changing, not me. How do you feel right now?
Confused.
Good. And how does your body feel?
Um,
There we go again. It wants more, doesn't it? So your body wants more of that.
relaxing.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you get that from doing everything you just told me. How could that be anything related to being frightened? When it helps you that much and you actually start laughing right now and your body wants to swap over again. I wonder if it actually want to do it once again. Maybe when you lose control of it and just allow your unconscious to do it, maybe you want to swap over. Maybe you just want to keep it right now as it is because it actually feels good.
Okay.
So what's the problem?
I can't drive like this.
No, that's true. But what is the problem?
I'm not sure there is one anymore.
So you're driving, you could do something, you're focused, you can get your way out.
I need to focus on relaxing.
You need to or just do it. You just told me you've done it all the other times. So all the need is there, and you just do it automatically just like that.
Yes.
So what's the problem?
I guess there isn't one.
So imagine right now sitting in a car, knowing what you know, and traffic gets a little bit more dense and people get a little bit closer, but you sit exactly like that in your mind and you feel relaxed. What happens?
I can get through it.
Of course you can. So what's the problem?
Worrying about it.
Worrying about it. Yeah, but you know better, don't you? Because you only had those good experiences, right?
Yeah.
So do you worry about not getting out a little bit faster? Because you know how fast you can do it, right? Or just allow it to happen because you know you do everything you need to do just automatically in a natural way. All the way down there, just happens. So, problem?
Solved.
Awesome. Were you hypnotized?
I have no clue.
So, what do you guys say?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, a lot of times. In and out, being confused, conscious, unconscious, boom! Just like that.
I feel like I've slept for 4 hours.
Yeah, well, you did. It's actually after midnight. You're welcome. All right. So, do you get the idea? Did you actually? Yeah. I want to ask a couple of questions to you. Then you can ask me questions, because I might answer your questions with my questions. That sounds awesome, doesn't it? Makes it easier for a teacher. So, did you recognize that every time he came up with a postulate of this is the reality, I changed focus from mind to body, or the opposite way? Because if we kind of link that into the actual feeling or the actual thought, it would be different. And did you hear me say, so what's up with all the excuses? And you went like, all your defense in the court system we created right here of hypnosis got totally demolished. And you started to feel yourself in a different way, correct? Something happened. You brought here, you're still confused about it, right?
I'm trying to figure out where it happened.
Well, that doesn't matter, does it? Because something happened. Did you see the changes in his body behavior? When he kind of accepted the idea that he had resources, the body started like, whoa, impatient. I want to try some of this. I want to do something. That's what happened. That's why you got confused, because you didn't know it on a conscious level. It's like, when I pointed it out, you're like, I'm moving. I didn't know that. That's changes down here. And the mind, the conscious couldn't follow, right? So I swapped techniques like a million times on this one. Because we have somebody who can be kind of stubborn, I guess. Is right, Michael? A little bit?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Thanks for setting up that
A little bit. Just a little bit, but change still happens. And what's kind of interesting, I'll get right back to you. Your conscious mind might want to sit there thinking, yeah, Scandinavian weirdo. When I'm back in my car, I want to feel frightened. But you know what's interesting? It doesn't control it. Because your unconscious chose a different path right now. Your body showed me it wants the positive resources. So when you sit in your car, you will never recognize it until after you go, I used to be kind of frightened in a situation like that, but I feel awesome. And then you want to put your leg up like that. But that's not possible in the car, is it?
You know what I was actually thinking is that when I was sitting there,
Yeah. Tesla.
When I was sitting there listening to you, I was thinking, I want to get behind the car again. I want to get.
Isn't that interesting? How could that not be a success, right?
Oh yeah.
But look at the whole body language right now. Before you could point out, this guy wants a session. You sat like that, trying to hide, now just open and just sit like, I feel myself. Not in a wrong way, but in a good way, right? I'll start first over here and then you, Michael. Yeah?
Okay, so he did not have a trigger. I'm going to give you two very quick scenarios. 12-year-old flies great, all of a sudden his older brother shows him a plane crash on YouTube. Now he's terrified doing a plane. That's a real thing that could happen. Second one, a lady who's afraid to be at home by herself and her husband leaves because she was raped at her house.
Yep.
So those are both heavy-duty triggers.
And really good, cases. And I can only answer it if the people were here because they have different realities.
Right.
So, and the problem is that what people usually share, whatever scripts they have, with all the words that the client do not use, with all the what you need to do as a client, and that's kind of, in my world, a little bit bullshit and not good enough because the client knows already, okay? Not to step on anyone's toes, but so if we share information about clients, we might have like rational idea of how to do something with it, and I might be clever saying, well, I dealt with that 7 other times, and in 80% of those, this was, the result of it. But then suddenly talking to that specific client, it might be something totally different. And to be honest, to answer maybe some other questions, if a client walks up saying, this is my problem, I never trust them. I never trust a conscious mind of a client because they just want to blah, 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 all the way out there. Excuses and just keep it hanging as a problem because now I get attention, right? Not in a bad way, but they don't know it. But that's the truth. So I want to trigger the unconscious to say, help me. This is my problem. I go, that's it. Let's do something about it. And then all the false reality disappears just like that. So that's why I want to talk to the actual client instead of make-up cases, right? So I hope that answers it.
Yep.
So just an observation.
Yep.
And our drive up, and I've known about Dave's problem for a little while. He talked to me about it before. And on the way up, just a little bit about Dave. Dave just retired as a teacher, but he was having some experience with parents this last year.
Yeah?
Students' parents.
Okay.
Very comfortable. And when he was talking on the way up about things that he's doing now that he's retired, he was crossing his legs in my car.
Haha.
When he was not, he was tense and stressed and had both his feet flat on the floor.
Awesome
He
observation.
was thinking about the drive.
Awesome.
Then when he first got in my car, we immediately got on the freeway within a mile.
All right.
And the tension was there. So just an observation. So.
Interesting. Good thing because there's something called the reintegration.
Yeah, Mike, I didn't notice that.
So basically, I did your pre-talk for you on the
Yeah.
way to stand.
Awesome.
It's been a long 5 days at the alligator bar.
Yeah, well, it will. It will be fun though. It will be fun though.
And now you guys have to share the testimony.
That's true.
Yeah, can we share that?
It's kind of like what you can get from what we call a reintegration process also. You have a conflict, here's A, here's B, they're in conflict. So what I do is actually, I'm motivating both of them to find the resources they want for the client as the host, right? Same thing happened right here, not driving, crossed legs, open wide, right? So when they suddenly match each other, and they figure out, hey, we want the same thing. We can do the same thing. You can help me, I can help you. And hey, together we're great and awesome. Now we have a body language that's the positive one. And it's even more built up with new stuff like, I'm listening right now. He wasn't listening before, but now he leans forward. His hand is dangling right there. He's doing like, I want to consider what you say because it sounds pretty awesome to me right now. That's what's happening right now. And he's laughing, so he accepted it. So awesome. Right? So that's what's happening. I get this posture, so I think it's about to wrap up, is it? That's why? Okay. So, did you enjoy the small demo? Yeah, awesome. Worthwhile coming here, so now go all the way back to Denmark, just because of you. No. I'm going to hang out for 2.5 weeks. If anyone, I got 2 things for you. If anyone wants what I call a Pioneer Mind session, that if you want some mentoring, doing some stuff, want something, I'm actually available like a couple of noons, so you can hook me up later if you want to. Besides that, if you felt...
How do we get in touch?
Well, that's a secret. Only, the accepted ones will get it. What I will do, I will leave my iPad open afterwards and you can put down your email. Also, if you liked what I've just did, I will give you access to 4, maybe even 6 hours of workshop videos, some of the workshops I did in Vegas, and I'll send them to you for free. You can just download it and have fun with it, where I share way more knowledge on how I do it and why. So it's backed up with science and how the brain works, everything from neuroplasticity to how the synapses and the neurons actually work. So it's backed up by science and behavior, by the way. So if you want that, put your email down. I'll send all the links to you, and you can download it immediately. Besides that, my name is Martin. I'm from Denmark. Thanks for having me. Oh, one more question. Yeah. Well,
It's sort of a question, but it's sort of, we usually ask if anyone people have training. So
Oh.
this all came about when I was talking to Martin last year about coming to Sedona. Then I said, well, why don't you just come to Phoenix? We got a bunch of people here. So if you could talk about some of your presentations, like the Soul Key or the DNA recovery, what people interest people in wanting to do that here.
Well, we can do the Soul Key is like an advanced regression, soul communication, life between life kind of therapy that goes beyond, I can promise you this, beyond what you know already. And I got this from clients and students who had all the other trainings. You can see more on that on our website. Go to thehypnoacademy.com. There's a lot of explanations. I have some small work. What I usually do when we have people like Ted saying, well, could you come and do something? We would go for like 2 times 2 day workshops, put something specific together. I have something I call the induction formula that will totally change the way you think about inductions. It's all about the genetics in the brain, how you could get anything to work as an induction. Not about how to read and tell them what to do, but anything present where you are, make that work as an induction just like that. Because it's all about the brain. It's not about what you say, what you do. It's everything else.
And I've seen him do it.
Yeah.
No, live in Las Vegas on the strip, walked up to a complete stranger I pointed at, and I said, use something in the scene.
Yeah.
Use something in the context, and he grabbed something from her.
And it goes fast.
Out.
Yeah. So something like that.
Rapid inductions, you're zigzaggers like
Oh yeah, the zigzagger, that's fun. That, and I do have, if you guys are going to Vegas, I do have a program there, like a post-workshop called the DNA recovery system. That's how to reactivate old DNA that actually stored in your mind and in your body. So you have preconditions about feeling better, non-diseased and stuff like that. You can reactivate it. There's no promise about, being totally miraculous, healed, anything like that, but you can do quite some awesome stuff with it. Not just with people who have health problems, but also with anyone else, because you can find the blueprints of how you felt earlier, and it's pretty solid system. So if you want information on that, it's actually in Vegas, and they hit the thoughts in August. And I think it's only $399 for the full trainings with certificates and everything in it. So it's awesome. And you can see Michael there also this year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. And you're doing something also, right?
No, Jody is though.
Oh, Jody is. Awesome. Good. So many good people, talented people there, and it's everything from all the weirdos to all the pros, and they both say the same about each other, right? So that's the fun thing. So
That was very good.
right.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
I'll leave this open on the